Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with a Bethesda news update. Now maybe you've been living... Oops. Oh god, bad timing. Now maybe a lot of you in the Bethesda community have been living under a rock, but the latest rumor is that Bethesda is working on a Fallout 3 remaster based off a leaked listing on Amazon, which had a placeholder trailer with an old movie countdown, but it turned out that was stock footage, so we're really not sure where this is heading. But I have a couple of updates on it and some rumors, so be sure to take that with a grain of salt. But anyway, it's still worthy of a quick discussion with you guys today, so let's get right into it, starting off with what's going on with the listing. Now, if you head over to Amazon right now, you'll see the listing has actually been taken down, and Mischief may have had a little something to do with it. I don't know. I don't trust that face right there. That looks like the face of a dog who may have, taken a bite of it and said, "What? I didn't do anything. It wasn't me." Point being is that the listing is currently down. It seems Bethesda caught wind of this rumor and instantly reacted, removing the page, but they have yet to offer comments on it, which was quite interesting to say the least, which I think adds a little more credence to what I personally believe is that this is a controlled leak. Furthermore, a lot of people popped in my Twitch chat that night and were saying, "Matty, I think it's this game or that game." So let me go through two of the most common ones people said. They said, it's gotta be Starfield. Well, if you go to Amazon, you'll see Starfield already has a listing. And then people said, oh, it's gotta be Wolfenstein Youngblood, obviously. Wolfenstein Youngblood also has a listing on Amazon. Every single game from Bethesda at this point in time has a listing on Amazon, so this means it has to be a brand new product, hence the deluxe edition and the collector's edition. I don't know if this indicates a new IP, a new studio working on something, but I'd say it's safe to imagine a remaster still, which I know a lot of people are a bit hesitant on because they're like, well, Matt, it's a remaster, why would that have a deluxe edition and a collector's edition? And while Resident Evil 2 was a remake and a fantastic game at that, I just got the trending for that game and it's easily one of my favorites of the year. Really good game, but point being is that got in a ridiculously expensive collector's edition. Trust me when I say these companies are more likely to cash in on your nostalgia than not, and Bethesda won't stop to do a collector's edition for Fallout 3 if they were to remaster that game and bring it to current consoles. Now, for a lot of you, what's really important is the rumor. What's happening with this listing? Where's Bethesda heading with it? What's going on internally? And I don't have many sources, believe it or not, but one of them is Skullsy, who works very hard to get a lot of information off of trademark listings mostly, but also on top of that, he has a source of his own. So I cannot confirm this. I do say just take it with a grain of salt, but I still think it's worth the discussion on what's happening. And it really doesn't tell us a lot about the listing, but more so what's happening at Bethesda. As always, credit to Skullsy, great guy, great channel, highly recommend him, check him out. But anyway, the rumor he posted is update on the Bethesda Amazon leak. My anonymous source just gave me an update. While this leak did come from within Bethesda, it was not planned and there are rumors of an internal investigation. The countdown timer was added in by the leaker to spice the leak up a bit. That means the countdown timer likely has nothing to do with the leaked game itself. This means that the game could be anything and it necessarily isn't Fallout related. Spread the word, you heard it here first. Video coming soon with the complete breakdown as always, and as always on my end, please do check him out. Great content creator. This was a lot of the community's suspicion that maybe the placeholder trailer that was added here was intentional by Bethesda to lead us down a certain path, or it could have been someone who internally leaked something when Bethesda wasn't ready to talk about it, like at all, unlike Rage 2, where they kind of reacted to the situation and revealed the game a little bit ahead of time to bring more hype to the table for it. But in this situation here, I think Bethesda has a game that they want to surprise people with that they haven't talked about at all, and someone actually internally leaked it, added this countdown trailer to add to the speculation a bit, to fuel channels like myself and many other Bethesda creators and gaming news channels in general, and now we're down one path when it could be something completely different. That is a crazy thought to have, and now Bethesda seemingly is having an internal investigation on what's happening here. I think a lot is changing internally over at Bethesda. I was reflecting when I was looking at Pete Hines' Twitter account, and do you all remember the days where I could look at his Twitter account and make a video solely off something he had put out there, whether it was brand new information or something to fuel our speculation? That type of stuff just doesn't happen anymore, at least these past few months, because Pete is completely off the radar. He hasn't thrown out a tweet since November 28th of last year. So it's been a good couple of months, and I think that's likely in part thanks to Fallout 76's launch, and I think he received quite a bit of flack for that after it had initially come out. So yeah, he dropped off the internet pretty quickly, which I understand. But point being is that I think communication within Bethesda and how it gets to fans is different. We used to look at Pete's Twitter account and get the answers there, but now they go through more, I guess, official lines, we'll say, such as the Inside the Vault series, as well as using Reddit threads. Meaning that they're not having the same reaction like they did with a Rage 2. And let's talk about the difference between those two, because a lot of people ask me, why are they doing one thing with Rage 2 versus something completely different with this Amazon listing leak? I think it's mainly because Rage didn't really drop everyone's jaws when it came out. I personally enjoyed it, but I know it wasn't the best game in the world. The story ended horribly. I thought the gameplay was solid though, and the universe was interesting. So no one really expected a sequel from this, nor was anyone really asking. So naturally, when people saw the leak from Walmart Canada and they were like, oh my god, why is Rage 2 on that list alongside Borderlands 3? Is this actually real or fake? No, it's got to be fake. And Bethesda reacted to it. It was a mixture of a confirmation of a mystery, people getting something that they really didn't know they wanted, and also the shock and awe of it all happening at the same time really aided Rage 2 and put it on a lot of people's radar, especially because it helped that there was a group of people who thought it was Starfield. To put it simply, Bethesda's team of marketers identified a situation where there was an opportunity. Hey, we have a game here that may not catch a lot of attention like previously published Bethesda games, but now we can put it on a lot of people's map because it's in this big leaked listing here. And if we react to it properly and make it a part of this big AR game, then people will get involved and it's fun and the reveal will be a much bigger deal, which it was. Whereas I always say a BGS game doesn't need a bunch of marketing because they always, except for Fallout 76, do well because they usually, aside from Fallout 76, review well and are received well by fans and critics alike, which I feel sort of adds to the possibility that this could be a Fallout 3 remaster because it would be a BGS game, and I don't think that Bethesda would need some form of reactionary marketing to a leak to really make that popular, especially Fallout 3. It's already made a name for itself. People have already played it, and there are people who are already interested in playing it if they don't maybe own an Xbox One and it's backwards compatible, or their PC doesn't work with it, or maybe they just missed the game in general. There's just a lot of opportunity there where they don't need to just knee-jerk announce it right then and there, right? They can patiently wait and take it down, which is why I think that's why we're not hearing anything from Bethesda, and there's a very good chance that this rumor sort of fades into the wind and we don't hear about it for a while until maybe E3 when Bethesda comes out, starts doing interviews and answering all the questions. I am vying for a Fallout 3 remaster or a Fallout collection, a Fallout 3 New Vegas collection, but I don't want folks thinking that's the only thing I'm expecting. The reason I do push for these Fallout collections is because when you look at the case of Fallout 3 in New Vegas, these games don't run that well on modern tech. In fact, I think the most accessible way to play Fallout nowadays is Xbox One's backwards compatibility program. But when it comes to PC, New Vegas is in a good spot, I feel, especially with modding. But when it comes to Fallout 3, even when you work around with a mod, that ancient technology known as Games for Windows, you still have a game that continuously crashes on modern PCs. The game is timeless, it is a classic, and it does deserve that type of facelift to modern technology. Same thing you could say with New Vegas. Point being though is that that's not the only thing Bethesda could be doing. There is the very well real possibility this is just a new game that will surprise us all. Bethesda in the past has made those secret studio acquisitions and then made big press release announcements after them. What if they acquired a studio secretly and have been working on something secretly and they're going to reveal all of that at E3? There is that very real possibility. So just know that while I push towards what I hope to see and what I want to see, and I try to support that with evidence and speculation, do know that's not what we should all expect. I think right now we don't have enough concrete evidence to point us in any direction, but I think Bethesda's reaction is fairly telling on what it could be, maybe. We'll see in due time, but anyway, I just wanted to have this discussion with you all today, give you the latest on the leaked listing, how it got taken down, some additional information, and discuss the latest rumor on it all. Big thanks to Skullsy for putting that information out for all of us to dissect. I recommend one more time, take it with a grain of salt. Don't walk away with this information like it's going to be the game you want it to be. Just take the information as is and walk away knowing that, and then you won't get hurt at the end of this process if it's not Fallout 3 or New Vegas getting remastered or put into a collection for modern consoles. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the latest information in the comments down below, so do fire away, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this. It's kind of an exciting time, right? It feels like it's pre-E3, except it's February, and we still haven't had confirmation of Bethesda's E3 showcase, which is all the more peculiar. Seems like a lot's going on internally at Bethesda, and they're a lot more quiet than usual, which could indicate an upcoming announcement, or maybe that they're just hard at work on 76. We'll see though. I'd love to hear from all of you, and I look forward to reading what you have to say. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that, as it fuels all the content I create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.